What's up, my wizard army? It's Dev, Mtg, and today we're going to go into the arena with a little Underworld Fancy or Fancy Dreams. I haven't really come up with a name for this deck that I think will stick exactly, but the basic concept's pretty simple. If you haven't seen the deck tech yet, I'll link to it in the description so you can get some more sort of long-form discussion about it, but the basic idea is Underworld Dreams to try to kill the opponent. That's more or less it, plus Folio of Fancies. And if we have enough mana, then during the opponent's end step, we can tap, make everybody draw, 3-4 cards. And then on our turn, when we go, we can make everyone draw 3-4 cards again. And if we have like 2 Underworld Dreams out, that's usually game, but we can also just long game the opponent and make them eventually die to Underworld Dreams. Along the way, we're not going to give them like any targets for their removal. So if they have a bunch of removal in their hand, it's effectively going to be stuck. I had a bunch of people ask me in the comment section, why aren't you playing, creature X or creature Y? And aside from Murderous Rider, we're not really playing like any creatures. like whatsoever. The only change I've made, if you've noticed, by the way, is from 2 to 3 Murderous Rider and from 3 to 2 Eat to Extinction. That is the only change that I've actually made to this deck. But aside from Murderous Rider, we're not giving them any targets for their removal, so we're trying to deaden a bunch of cards in their hand with that strategy. Aside from that, Agonizing Remorse, Tyrant Scorn to hold down the early game force, Sinister Sabotage to make sure they don't resolve anything we can't deal with once it is on the table, and then a bunch of removal to kill stuff. Oh, and also there's Obnixilis, because it's like being able to play 2 more copies of Underworld Dreams, but that is effectively the deck. There's really not much to it. It's a budget deck, and we play pretty simply here. We're just trying to game the opponent out of playing important spells and keeping important permanents on the battlefield in the first place. We'll eventually just, kill them with Underworld Dreams. So we'll see if this will work. Let's go on to the arena. All right, we're in against Malachi for this one, and I actually think this hand could be a little bit better, honestly, but I'm going to keep it. We've got the lands that we need. Sinister Sabotage, ready to go on turn 3. And then we've got some removal to pick up anything that we miss. Temple of Deceit for the Scry. All this is good. This is a reasonable hand. Now on turn 2, we've got Remorse. Castle Locthwain. We've already got you. Good on that, bro. Although we don't have a swamp. Right? So we just got a bunch of tap lands in our hand. But next turn we can Island. Go ahead and Remorse. Although maybe we should Dismal Backwater next turn to make sure we go ahead and have Sinister Sabotage up on turn 3. Tough decision. This is the game we play, everybody. All right, so Forest turn 2. I wonder if this is green-white auras or something. I guess we can go ahead and find out. Huh. All right, so we Remorse them this turn. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I was going to go through a whole thing in my head. But nah, let's go ahead and make sure they can't resolve their most important permanents next turn. And they've got some, boy, whew. Man, it is not often that you see Heliod in the enchantments deck. But I'm going to, God, they have Setessan Champion either way, don't they? That's not a good feeling. Certainly don't want them to have 2 Setessan Champions. So, let's get rid of that. This is going to be an uphill battle. That's okay. We can still sabotage whatever they do, And they're going to do something, whether it's another Setessan Champion or Heliod here. Okay, Setessan Training is what they go with. Interesting. Huh. We'll draw 2 off of that, which I don't love. And this probably just makes them skip their turn. Although, I'm a little worried because I feel like I should save that for the Heliod that's eventually going to come. But I'd kind of rather just deny them drawing 2 cards this turn and growing their champion and all that. Because now we can wait, hold up Erebos' Intervention. If they try to resolve an aura on Setessan Champion next turn, we should be able to 2-for-1 them with Intervention. So let's try that. Now they could have Karametra's Blessing, God's Willing, something like that. We'll just have to take that chance this time around. I know the other day I said, kill these creatures when you can, but, see, that's good. I'm going to go ahead and Intervention. Setessan Champion while this Siona's on the stack. Yeah, let's do that. They have a chance of going wide with the Siona, but we could probably just Obnixilis next turn and kill the Siona. There's an Underworld Dreams, which will pair nicely with the Obniks. Alright. So, next turn, if they only have the 3 mana available, what do? They still can't Daxos if they don't get a land drop. But they can Sentinel's Eyes, get a 1/1, swing for 3. And that's probably like what they're most likely to do, I bet. This is tough because like the decision I'm making is, do we Underworld Dreams now or Obnixilis now? I actually think I'm going to Underworld Dreams now. I don't want to give them the white source. I don't want to do it. Like, I think I'd rather take 3. They got it one way or the other, but if we had Obnixilis, like, we'd have given them a huge chance of drawing the white source. They need the Daxos. Now, they're going to Daxos, but do they get to play an Aura this turn? Like it's a test in training or something? Yep, there it is. Test in training. Exactly that. Alright, so they're going to go a little wide here. What we'd like is to draw a Ritual of Soot. We could also draw a Cry the Carnarium right here, and I think we'd be fine. Underworld Dreams, that's neat. That's very neat. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, thought so. Alright. Let's just gain our life. Alright, so here's the decision on this turn, right? At least this is what my mind's thinking. We can Underworld Dreams now, give them a chance to develop their board state a little bit more, take 3, 4, 5, 6 next turn, go down to 13, which isn't bad. If they all that glitters, we'll go down to less than 13, but we still won't die, right? So we can Underworld Dreams now, let them develop their board and try to draw a sweeper, right? Next turn. Or we can just Obnixilis right now, which is probably what we're going to do. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's Obnixilis, kill Sayona. They're going to take some damage, but they're also going to gain a life, so the math is a little wonky on that. 16 is what they end up going down to. 15, 14 during their draw step. But they have, you know, a handful of cards now, so that's the problem with Obnix. Heliod. I wonder if they swing in on Obnixilis this turn. Could they do that? Lifelink, the absolute worst thing in the world for our deck. They do swing at Obnixilis. We did not get a sweeper, which is terrible. We play 6 in this deck. Where are they at? Well, I guess we can Underworld Dreams. Folio. But we are in some danger of dying here fairly soon. And Underworld Dreams just really doesn't matter so much because they've got, you know, Heliod over there, which is a perfect foil for Underworld Dreams. That's why I wanted to take it earlier. But I also didn't want them to have some testing champions. This deck just has so many good cards. Honestly, had too many good options to choose. Although it may have been a mistake. Heliod is probably what you want to get in this matchup just to make sure they can't lifelink anything. So that's such a big deal. See if they play anything this turn. They're thinking about maybe just Helioding twice, you know. Sentinel's Eyes. Sure. They can still Heliod twice. Sentinel's Eyes. And Heliod's alive. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ugh. We have got to sweep the board next turn. This might just be one of those games where we don't get the sweeps. We don't get the ritual. Which is crazy. How many cards have we seen in our deck now? 15. So it's likely that we see a ritual this turn, but if we don't, so let's try and draw it with Folio. We didn't. We got Murderous Rider. And we didn't. Jeez, guy. So if we Vantress, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can still Vantress for it. Our opponent's good gaming us preemptively, which is not very nice. Just throwing that out there. That's kind of a jerk move. Hey, oops. That's all right. You got it, opponent. You got it, Malachi. Good game. We just didn't draw the sweeper. We drew every card in our deck but the sweeper. That happens sometimes. All right, we got one against Giraffe Envy, and I'm not like a huge fan of this opening hand. I really wish we had untapped lands, but I think I'm going to actually take it. I think I am. It's got the blue sources for Sinister Sabotage, 2 Erebos' Intervention to keep us in the game. We can scry this turn. Hopefully Agonizing Remorse next turn. That'd be cool. Although we're not going to be able to because we need to keep this castle locked, Wayne, as much as it sucks. But let's see what Giraffe Envy does here. Just drop a Gruul Guildgate. I guess we'll drop a Dismal Backwater this turn. Yeah. Let's do that. And it thinks that we want to Erebos' Intervention for 0. I mean, I guess there are situations where you might want to if you're just trying to increase your storm count or something, but we definitely don't want that. Take 2 off Stomping Ground for a Paradise Druid. P. Diddy comes down. Eat 2 Extinction this turn. That's Agonizing Remorse. Ha! That's so much good stuff. Rebel Belt Rioters. Last time I saw this was in a sealed game of War of the Spark. God. It's either Great Henge or Anax here. That's tough. They don't have any lands. They don't have any lands. They can Zerta next turn. They can Domer's Ambush eventually, but we don't really present any targets for them, so I'm not that worried. I guess I'll take the Anax. I think that's what I'm most worried about in a deck full of sweepers. They can just Zerta Goblin this turn. They're kind of forcing us to get a sweeper. Rebel Belt. Okay. We'll take 2. Dismal Backwater isn't the best Magic card. Go. Alright, we can Sinister Sabotage something this turn. I'm really not worried about this Raiders or Rioters for right now. Ooh, are you going to deign to tap this Paradise Druid for something? Will you? Will our opponent Questing Beast? They will Zerta Goblin. Okay. We'll sabotage it. I think that's the play. Folio of Fancies. We'll actually graveyard that. Gotta find a sweeper, everybody. Pretty much every game we have to find a sweeper. That's almost always our goal. 15 here. This actually may have screwed them, that they tapped their Paradise Druid. Temple, Sinister Sabotage. I kind of want that. So what are we at? 15? Go down to 11 on attacks next turn. Keep the Sabotage. Yeah, because, like, screw it. It's only 11, right? That's fine. In the turn. And then maybe we can intervention, like, if we don't have something to, I guess we can just eat to Extinction, like, this turn. Just the Rioters? Okay, both of them. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. P. Diddles. Kill that Paradise Druid. So now you're swinging 0 with your Rioters. What do you got this turn? Another Rioters, which actually won't do anything. Really wish we'd have drawn a land. I really do, because then we can Underworld Dreams and still have Sinister Sabotage. But alas, let's just leave up Sabotage. Counter whatever creature they try to put in play this turn to get power on these Rioters. Y'all are 3, yeah, 3 mana. So Ritual of Slit does kill them. Paradise Druid. I don't think they'll be able to cast anything else this turn. Yep. Also kind of want to deprive them of mana. I'm not sure why, because I don't think it matters that much. Hey, it's a land. But now I kind of don't want it. Maybe we do. Sure. Sure. Cool. And it might be our turn here. How does Dull Damage read? Then that creature deals damage to creature you don't control. Okay. The magic words. I was thinking a cool play here would be to Rubble Belt Riders and fight another Rubble Belt Riders to put a counter on Riders. You know, could be cute. I think they can still actually do that. I wonder if they're considering it. They're going to swing for 2 every turn. So something. I really want to stick to Streams. I really do, but we're at 19. Like, we can probably stick to Streams and it's fine, right? Because even if they swing at us, well, no, I probably shouldn't have done it. I honestly shouldn't. Like, imagine if they Questing Beast this turn and swing for 12. Like, that's a definite, it's a reality, right? So, we'll just take that chance. All right, what do you got? What do you got? I'm wincing. I'm bracing for impact here. Oh, God, that hurts. That hurts. All right, so you are going to hit for 8 this turn, it looks like. Yep. Actually, they hit for 12. They do hit for 12. Because of the way Riders is worded. Alright, so we're at 7. Which isn't the best of life totals. But you see, this turn, we just don't do anything. We just say go. And see what they try to do. Maybe we'll catch them trying to do that trick again. Maybe, just maybe. 5 mana. Pass. Are you going to say go? Ooh, it's our turn. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba. Now, please don't have something that can increase its toughness by more than 1. That would kind of hurt. It wouldn't hurt too badly when you think about it. Okay, there goes 1. Cool. We get a land. Say go. Settle in for a slog here. Sucks that we bend that folio. We had to, though. But we bend that folio, so it's going to be a while till we get another one. But maybe we'll get another Underworld Dreams. Questing Beast, everybody. Hello. Let's eat that right up. Cool. For a second, I thought this deck might be like too budget-oriented, right? Keep that. Keep that all day. Apparently, it is not too budget-oriented for Questing Beast. They knew what to craft spend their wild cards on. So now we just say go. Could be Lothwaining here. It's probably not the best idea, all things considered. Robber the Rich. It's going to get countered. We need some sort of card advantage in this deck, like, really badly. Other than Thassa's Intervention. Thassa's Intervention's really, really good. It is. But I'd like, you know, a way to draw cards, like, every turn, if possible. A static way to do that. Because some card advantage would really put this deck over the top. Let's go to 10. Draw a card. It's a swamp. We get a Knob Nix. Which we will absolutely play. But not necessarily used yet, right? I mean, we don't have to. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so they'll take 4. But we are just giving them cards, which I'm not a huge fan of here. Scorching Dragonfire. Ooh, neat. Okay. They're like, thanks for the 2 cards. Alright, they go down to 10, and we've still got Murderous Rider up here, so we should be able to weather any big storms. We haven't seen a sweeper all game. Again. There's an Agonizing Remorse. I think it's worth playing. Get that Great Henge out of their hand. I don't want them gaining 2 life every turn. Next, in turn. Well, they're at 8 off of Underworld Dreams here. And they just drew a land, so... Do we go to 7? Yeah, I wanna draw some cards. I probably won't do this too much more often, but... God, lands! What are you doing to me? Especially since I have to have this Murderous Rider up, and that'll put us at 5, so... Also, if we play Murderous Rider and they resolve a creature, it just turns on Dumry's Ambush. Oh my god. Questing Beast. No thank you. Walking a tightrope here. There's a Ritual of Soot. That's probably really good news. I will Murderous Rider. Force them to draw a creature here. I will not play the land yet. Just kind of let them know I've got stuff up. They're at 6. They did not draw a creature. This is the best news I've ever heard. We will drop the Southern Castle Lochthwain. We will get in for 2. And go up to 7. They're at 3. Robert, that's exactly what I didn't really want. Ugh. Now they're going to ambush the Murderous Rider. Just do it. Just, do it. I mean, what, did you have another play? Alright, Murderous Rider goes back into our library. We're going to take 3 here, go to 4. That would have been almost the game-winning card right there. Well, let's Dismal Backwater, go up to 5. Ritual of Soot. And end the turn. Alright, we're holding on. We are holding on. They're at 2. They drew a land. Okay. We got an Agonizing Remorse, which doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. Alright, well, this should be the game here almost no matter what, unless they didn't get it. Alright, so that's it. It's the game against Giraffe Envy there. We pulled one off. We did it, everybody. I'm so proud of us. Alright, we got one against GGXX. This might be our last one here, and this hand could be better, but also could be far worse than it is. I'd like another blue source for the Sinister Sabotage. Well, let's go ahead and lead on Backwater here. Opponent got an Ardenvale, so it's mono-white aggro. Almost certainly. But we got a Ritual of Soot. Hopefully we can get to it. Oh, Birth of Melodus. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's blue-white. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the misread there, but that actually makes its Agonizing Remorse all the more powerful. Wow. Hey, a spinning wheel. Neat. Well, I really don't like Planar Cleansing. I really don't, but I'm going to take the Mass Manipulation. Because I don't want them to grab all of our Underworld Dreams. I'd rather them destroy all of our Underworld Dreams than to grab them all. Plus, if they want to, you know, Planar Cleansing and hold up mana to counter our Sinister Sabotage, it's going to take them a lot of mana. So let's just... I like how we're getting our sweepers in this game. That's very cute. I'm going to go ahead and Folio. Brace for the Teferi that returns it to our hand. We'll have to wait and see, though. They're going to gain 2. Big whoop. I mean, it is kind of a big whoop. So that puts 2 more turns on them. Once we actually do get a Dreams down. Tyrant Scorn. It's a bunch of stuff. Just a lot of removal we don't need. That's the thing, is that we don't play too many creatures. We play a bunch of removal because we're trying to, like, deaden the removal against, you know, when we're up against control decks, we want to deaden all of their removal. The problem is that it also deadens, like, all of our removal. And Castle Ardenvale is not a card that we like to see. So, and they got it on turn 1, too. Fabled Passage cracks. which is fine. And I guess Castle Ardenville gives this Cry of the Carnarium something to do, but it's also a never-ending creature factory, which is exactly what we don't like to see. Let's let it happen. I kind of want to draw 2 cards, but like that's the absolute worst thing I could do. It's Castle Vantress tapped, which is really, really nutsacks. And say go. Where are all of our Underworld Dreams in these games? Playing 4, and I feel like we haven't gotten multiple copies of Dreams out in any games, which is really uncommon. Usually we end up getting 2 copies of Dreams out. It's amazing it hasn't happened yet. These games are somewhat atypical, if you don't mind me saying. These games are a little bit atypical of what I've been experiencing lately. In that, yeah, I should probably expand on that. In that, usually the deck can be far more controlling than it has appeared to be today. So I'm going to go ahead, Obnix. That's probably going to get countered. No. It boards. That's cool. You get Ardenvale. It's in the turn. They do Ardenvale. I wonder what they play this turn. Because like the idea there was like, do we hold up for Sinister Sabotage? Do we play Obnix? I want to go ahead and get some damage of our own on the battlefield here. And maybe they'll swing in at Ob. Which will be nice. Yep, they do. So I'm not really planning on using this Ob. I just wanted to sit on the battlefield. Our turn. Bass's intervention. Yeah, let's cry. Kill their stuffs. They're still going to make a token at the end of our turn, but eh. In the turn, they'll go down to their starting life total. So that's pretty cool. Brazen Borrower, the Folio back to it. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. That's fine. And then Brazen Borrower. And I guess before we pass the turn entirely, let's just kill the Brazen Borrower. It doesn't look like they'll be able to save it in any way. Yeah. Alright, so that was kind of a bust for them in a way, because we don't care that the Folio's back in our hand. They kind of lost a Brazen Borrower. We're not going to, our Nyx isn't going to take any damage this turn, it looks like. There's a Dream Trawler. How do we beat it? How is it ever possible to beat that card with this deck? Could we not? I could have sworn we could have countered that. Maybe we couldn't have. Oh, yep, because we tapped down for Tyrant Scorn. And that actually, we got, we fell into the trap there. Like an idiot. They have 3 cards left in their hand. Well. Here's our Chancel. We can 1, 2, 1. We have 3 left, so we can only draw 1 card. It's a Tyrant Scorn. It's a Tyrant Scorn. So let's Folio. Target this. Make him discard the Planar Cleansing. Then we'll target this again. Oh, we don't have to. We don't have 2 blue. Well. Good game, opponent. Let's get out of here. We're not beating the Dream Trawler. Once it's on the board, we're not beating that card. It's never gonna happen. So let's get on out of here. We lost to a deck playing Spinning Wheel, but they were also playing Dream Trawler, so I don't feel too bad about it. I guess. Let's look over the deck one more time here before we get out. So I really wanted to pick up 2 games, but it really is. We've already been on camera for a long time here, and I feel like we didn't play like too horribly in these games. So I'm not really sure what we could have done better. Although I'm sure that if I missed something that could have either won or not lost us the game, you'll tell me in the comments section. Just let me know, because I always say that, but then like, there are videos where you tell me you're just screaming at me the entire time to make a play that I don't see. So let's make sure there was nothing like that in these games. But I guess if I had to improve this, I'd just go Esper. Then the problem becomes, if you go Esper, just play Esper Control, right? Like, don't devote slots to Underworld Dreams or Folio of Fancies. So it's just, you know, it defeats the purpose a little bit. So I'd want to keep the deck in sort of this form, right? You know, just add Watery Graves. We might be able to get away with like a Blast Zone, but I doubt it because I want, again, as much blue and black mana in the deck as we can possibly get. So I don't think we get to play colorless lands here. Aside from that, like maybe more sweepers. I'm also considering a Fae of Wishes package in this deck, and I think that that might actually be a good way to go here. You know, just stack up our sideboard with more removal, even, you know, more sweepers if we can fit them in there somehow. Maybe play a 3-color package of some kind, and then Fae of Wishes can go get like real sweepers or just more impactful cards out of our board. That's probably where I'd take it if I wanted to alter it from here. But this is the cheapest version of the deck that I could, you know, build. Well, actually, excuse me. That is... Oh, what? I have 3 to Extinctions. What? Okay. That's weird. I definitely do. But I guess I don't. That's very strange. But, you know, I guess if you played Fae of Wishes in the deck, you could probably board these Cry the Carnariums, maybe even board a copy or 2 of Ritual of Soot, and play, you know, cards that stretch a little bit more. So maybe, possibly. I'm also thinking about playing... There's a 3-mana card in black that I think it's like Farika's Remedy or something like that. I can't remember now because it's brand new. But it can make the opponent sacrifice enchantments, and it also makes them sack creatures, which would be really, really good against Dream Trawler, right? So, oh, there it is. Farika's Libation. That's what it is. Yeah, so we can make him sacrifice Dream Trawler, and it would have worked in that situation. So that's one reason to play it. And then sacrificing enchantments can be really nice because we can't deal with enchantments once they're on the table. So I'm also thinking of maybe Brazen Borrower for this deck. We just saw that card in action, so I probably shouldn't have to bring it up, but there's Brazen Borrower right there, in case you wanted to know. But I'm thinking Brazen Borrower might actually be better, especially if we play the Fae of Wishes package and we board some of these counterspells, or not counterspells, but sweepers. Then Borrower might be a good card to replace some of the sweepers with in the main deck. But those are all my thoughts for now. Again, like I said in the deck tech, and do check out the deck tech if you haven't yet. Link in the description for that. But like I said in the deck tech, go check out Legend's version of the deck. It's Legend VD, but everyone just calls him Legend. But he played the Esper Smothering Tides and Emergency Powers deck the other day on camera, and it looked really, really, really good. You know, Smothering Tide, whenever they draw a card, they have to pay 2 or you get a treasure token. And then Emergency Powers is everybody just time twisters. You know, everyone draws 7, shovels in their hand in library, draws 7. So in that case, the way this works with an Underworld Dreams out is that you just deal 7 to them and get a bunch of mana. So it's really, really good, right? And that deck also plays Folio because, you know, the Emergency Powers, you get a bunch of mana from the treasures and you can Folio for 1 million. So that looks like a really, really cool deck. Go check that out. I'll leave another link in the description for that gameplay if you haven't seen it yet, because I think that might be the most powerful way to play Underworld Dreams in this format. And that deck gets like real sweepers, you know? It gets like Kaya's Wrath, which is an amazing sweeper. It gets Shatter the Sky, which is a really good sweeper, especially compared to things like Ritual of Soot, which are like really limited in this format right now. So, like in that game, we had a Ritual of Soot in our hand that could have killed the Dream Trawler if it could kill Dream Trawler. Like if it was a Shatter the Sky, it would have killed Dream Trawler. So, but yeah, those are my 2 cents for now. We lost some games. We did win one, but it took kind of playing against another sort of budgety-ish deck that didn't have all the, you know, best card choices, which may have been a factor of, you know, not just starting or not having the cards yet. So, but, you know, a lot of FNM environments are kind of like that, and especially a lot of more casual environments are like that. So, again, that's what budget decks are usually for, but I think this might actually snag you some games at FNM, especially if you're playing in best of 3, because like I said in the deck tech, I feel like this deck is better in best of 3 than it is in best of 1, you know, because we're just forced to play a bunch of sweepers which aren't good against everything, right? They're just not. And a bunch of 1-for-1 removal, which also isn't great against everything. So, you know, like I said, against control decks, we deaden all their removal, but they also kind of deaden all of our removal a lot of the time. So it's nice to be able to side out and get duress, negate. You know, Liliana's Triumph is our Sacrifice a Thing card in the sideboard that would have made them sacrifice Dream Trawler. Noxious Grasp, obviously amazing in some games. Ashiok, great card. Lochmere Serpent, another win condition. So getting to board is actually really, really nice. I like to play best of one for all kinds of reasons when I'm showcasing decks. It's because the majority of Magic games that are played, especially now that Arena best of one is a thing, the majority of Magic games that are played in the world are best of one because they're casual as an environment, and almost no one plays sideboards in casual. So if you really want to see how a deck performs, especially considering the main deck is the most important part of any deck, if you want to see how a deck functions, usually best of one is the best way to bang games out and let you know how a deck performs on a basic level. So that's usually why I do best of one. But again, I think this deck is a little bit better in best of three. But let me know how you felt about it, any plays that I missed down there in the comments section, and how you'd change the deck if you had the chance to do so. Also, like the video if you get the chance. It just takes a second. Like the video, put me in more recommended feeds. Tell your friends, share the video around. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter at SBMTGDev. Subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications so you know when I put videos out and stuff. Hit up the Patreon if you want to vote on what decks we do. It's just $1 a month to vote on all the polls. We do like 2 or 3 polls a week, so you get a lot of value for $1. And ad revenue's terrible this time of year. In any case, I guess do all that stuff. And, and let me know how you felt about it. And I'll catch you cats later. I'm Dev from The Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.